So if you want to come and see how this works. So these are all the swings that Christian has made during this session. And what we'll start with is if we click down here, we can show Christian's data and his avatar up here. So we have certain filters for all of the data because we collect from 18 different points. We have a ton of data that we can look through, and we have preset data here. So the first thing we always check is alignment. So at this point we would see 0, 0 is what we would want to see here, and we've calibrated them to a target in order to find these numbers. So the first thing here is that we could see negative numbers are open. So we can see that his pelvis is a little bit open at address, and his torso and his shoulders are a little bit closed, possibly. So this is the first thing we would always do when we have a new student in the suit, is we would just check their alignment and go from there. Then in Christian's particular case, what we looked at was his torso rotation at impact. So we can see he's closed with his torso at impact, which means he's having to throw his hands at the ball as he's hanging back, and and he's getting inconsistent strikes. He's getting some pulls going, maybe the odd block if he doesn't get his hands through. So what we looked at here, and how we set a task then, so we can look at that. If we go to his contact, we go to our presets, and we go to that rotation. So this one was even worse. This was a different swing, so he was even more closed. So what we did with him was we set a task to try and get his torso to square. So we want him to get square at impact. So we want him to turn his torso more during the downswing and get square at impact. And we can change these metrics to get a range. So we can save this threshold, do a certain number of shots, and then we name it. So we would be, is it
creative?
See, Christian Moore torso rotation at impact. And then we save that threshold. We save that as a task. So then that task will appear here on the coach's dock, and then on the app on the phone it also appears. So the student would get that wherever they were in the world. You could be in person doing this lesson, or you could be remote. So they would have this task on their app, on their phone. They'd click on it, they'd make swings, and then they'd get immediate feedback as to whether that feeling translated to the data that we would like to see. So we did this with Christian. We set him this task, and we can see here, you can see how his numbers are now different. This last set, he basically got everything to square at impact with his shoulders. So this is the improvement that we saw. Then if we want to go further, we can then compare these two avatars directly. So we can take it to one of these first swings that he made. We can go to our, so there you go, there's our session data. So we see with this avatar on the left, we got him to square where he was 9 degrees shut. Then we can also overlay these, and we can throw a torso line on it, go from above. If we go to contact, oh, they're slightly out of sync there actually.
That's so cool.
But we can see that blue line
It's more open, right?
is way more open than that pink line. So that's what we do. We use both the data and the avatars to guide a student into where we want them to be. And then the great thing is, because we can track those feelings with direct data, what we're telling them to do, we can see if the data is matching up with the swing feelings. Then at the end, we can share this report with them based on that task we did. So all of those swings he made with the metric we were looking at are down here, and we can see how well he managed to achieve the task that we were looking for. So we can email this report to Christian then. That's what we do at the end of our sessions to see if so students have that data and they can see if they improved.
That's awesome. Really, really good information.